Hi, it's Alex here. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for keeping company with me while I'm not sure if I'm self-isolating or social distancing, terminology. But yeah, this is SewVid episode 2. Basically, I am only going out for food and to walk the dogs. I haven't left the house since I was here yesterday. I think Dave is probably going to be on dog walking today. So I first of all wanted to say it's so good having you guys comment. You know, you can be in your own little sewing bubble and not sure about something, and you've got to make your own decisions, and there's, you know, rarely somebody that you can ask to have an opinion, and it's brilliant. I just say, what do you think about these pockets? And then everybody comes back and says, no, you're right. Something not quite right about the placement of those pockets. And then even better, lots of people said, do you even need them? And I thought, actually, no, I don't actually need those pocket flaps. I certainly don't need them sitting there right on the apex of my bust with some kind of semi-erotic advent calendar nipple flap situation going on. Not really my style. So I've had a look at the pattern and it looks like it's actually not going to be too much of a pain to lift that seam line up without interfering with the sleeve. So I've had a little fiddle with it. Anyway, if you were watching yesterday, you'll know that I said I was going to have a chat today about the Lulu Designs Swatch Club. And I have been gifted membership to the Swatch Club. If you've watched any of my videos before, you'll know that I have bought a lot of fabric from them. I was going to say over the years, but that's not true. Over the last year, the first piece of fabric I bought for them was because I was looking for a specific colour for I wanted to make a rusty coloured linen jacket for last spring. The thinking behind this Swatch Club is something I'm completely on board with, which is why I'm talking to you about it. I hope that you would trust me and that we kind of know each other well enough to know that I'm not going to just, you know, give you some old flannel about something I don't actually believe in. Anyway, we know as sewists that the biggest problem with buying fabric online is we've not invented touch-o-vision yet, and we can't feel it. And not only can we not feel it, you can't always get a really 100% accurate representation of colours. I mean, it's not strictly true. Sometimes it's fine, but sometimes you get something arrives. In fact, that happened to me recently, didn't it? It was the fabric I ordered for the chinos. I thought that was going to be a little bit darker based on what I'd seen on the website than the fabric actually turned out to be when it arrived. It was fine in that case. But yeah, you know, those are the downsides, and you don't always know what quality you're going to get, how it's going to drape, all of that sort of thing. So a lot of online companies, I've got hair everywhere. A lot of online fabric companies offer a swatch service. However, I've never ordered a swatch in my life. I am way too impatient. I want to get my fabric here ASAP. I don't want to have to wait for a swatch to arrive and then also have that potential fear that the fabric is subsequently sold out. So I think this is a great solution, and I think it's got even better than the original that Sam and Lucy, who run Lulu Designs, told me about, because they are now doing it according to colour seasons. So what you get is, first of all, you need to have an idea of what season you potentially would be diagnosed as if you were to go to one of these stylists or people that do colour analysis. There's an awful lot of information all over the web. And also on the Lulu Designs website, there is a page that guides you to kind of work out whether you are an autumn like I am, or a winter, or spring, or a summer. And rather than the original plan, which was sending out some swatches that represent their core fabrics that they will largely have year round, you now get a box that has fabrics in colours that are tailor-made to your colouring. I mean, seriously, how good is that? When I had my colour session done, I came away with one of these kind of things with different swatches. I think the idea is that you take it out when you're buying clothes. Buying clothes, who buys clothes? I buy fabric. And I found it to be great. There are colours on here that I would not have worn a year ago. These ones, for example. And yeah, I've really enjoyed finding new colours and putting kind of different colour combinations together that perhaps, yeah, I wouldn't have done before. So the whole kind of colour analysis thing is great. I personally don't think you necessarily need to go and see someone. There's enough information out there. So what you get with the Swatch Club is you pay £20 for a year's membership. When you start your membership, you get the initial core box, which is 16 swatches. They're a great size, not little piddly useless things. They're enough for you to be able to see what the drape is. And to be able to look, you know, colour matched to whatever you might be doing. Or I have a habit of doing that against my hair. Probably should be doing against my face. Yeah, so you get 16. They will be a mixture of wovens and stretch fabrics, all sorts of different weights. And they're kind of trans-seasonal, so largely they are going to have these fabrics in stock, and in most cases they come in a number of different colours, so there's nobody's going to shoot you if you choose a fabric that doesn't strictly belong to your season. You know, there's no rules really, but it does mean that you get a box that's, I nearly used the word curated, there's a word I cannot stand. I'm not going to use that. You get a box that is tailor-made to your colouring. And then in addition to the main box that you get when you first take out membership, you get a seasonal update every quarter. And in that will be a further 4 swatches. So over the course of a year, there's another 16 that come. So 4 seasons, 4 swatches, and those will be the ones that are probably clearly more seasonal. Maybe there'll be a seasonal print, or they will be a more appropriate weight. And in addition to all of that, as a member of the Swatch Club, any of the fabrics that you go on to order that are Swatch Club fabrics, you get an additional 10% off. And I have to say, I think it's a great idea. I really do. So let me start. I'll show you the stretch fabrics that I've got. So I have been sent these here. And there's quite a good range there. So I've got this one here, which is called Josie, which is, I guess, like a sweater knit. And on the reverse of the swatch, you've got a bit of information with regard to care and fabric composition and the name of the fabric. The good thing is, because it's a club, it has its own separate section on the Lulou Designs website. So you go to the Swatch Club section, you don't have to worry too much about searching through the entire site for these fabrics. And then you know that all the ones in that section are the ones that you get the 10% discount from. This one here is called Bella, and I had a good stroke of this when they came for the pop-up shop, because this is really, really lovely and soft. It's 65% modal. Then you've got Isabella, which is a viscose blend, 70% viscose, and that's a really good substantial feeling Ponte. Another Ponte is the Cassandra. I love this colour. So, you know, if you're on the website and you're going, There's two different Ponties. How do I know what the difference is between the two of them? You don't have to worry about it because you've got both of them there, so you can have a good feel. This one here, which is called Daisy, and that is a French Terry. I guess it's a fleece back French Terry. So quite a good range in terms of different weights. And this one is Harper, which if you've watched any of my videos recently, you will have seen I made something out of this very fabric in this very colour, and my ivory t-shirt was also in Harper jersey. So those are all the stretch fabrics, and then the wovens that I've got, again, quite a range. So starting off at the kind of heavier end, I've got these two here, which are Kate and Sarah. Sarah here is a wool viscose blend, and Kate is 100% wool, so that's a boiled wool. And well, they're both boiled wool, but that's 100%. So again, one of those, what's the difference? You just get your sample out and have a play. These colours are so tempting. I mean, I really love that. Yeah, so that's at the heavier end, and then sort of moving down in terms of lightness, you've got this here, which is called Emma, and that's a cord in that absolutely gorgeous teal colour. That would make great trousers or skirt, actually, or even, you know, a nice kind of spring lightweight jacket. You know, I'm always saying I'm not a believer that because it's spring you have to wear pastels. And then this one here, which is a cotton poplin, this one is called Zoe. And there's so much you could do with that. Then you've got a couple of different types of linen. This one here is called Rebecca, and that's a linen ramie. And then this one here, which is a viscose linen blend, is called Piper. Then I'm nearly at the end. This one here is called Grace. And I absolutely adore that colour. Look at that. That is a crepe, poly crepe. Oh, how gorgeous is that? And then you've got this here, which is a viscose, and it's called Audrey in this gorgeous pistachio colour. Again, that would make such a lovely dress or lightweight blouse for the spring and the summer. We've got a lining, and this is these are the only two that are not plains, but they're not massively printed. You've got Queenie, which is a lining fabric with the paisley, which is fab. I mean, lining anything with that is going to look marvellous. And then, yeah, last but not least, Olivia, which I'm guessing is a double gauze, which has the gold embossing on it. So yeah, obviously you're talking much lighter and much more floaty with the double gauze. So quite a range of fabrics in terms of different types and different weights, but the colours for somebody like me are all going to work brilliantly together. I mean, I just keep being drawn to this. I think maybe it's the novelty because I spent 50 years not wearing red. And then all these teals and olives, and oh, it's great. So I am really interested to see some of the boxes for the other seasons. I know that there's a lady who watches called Lynn Prentice. She posted on Instagram to say she just had her colours done. So I said, you need to go and have a look at this. I know she's had hers and she's a winter and she seems to be really happy with hers. I haven't yet seen a spring or a summer box, so I'm really keen to see them. But, you know, I can't help but feel it's a great idea. I had my, I guess you'd call it the prototype box that they had given me a sneaky peek of back in February before they decided to go down the seasonal route. I had this with me when I was planning my module for the Great Module Sew Along. I wanted the colours to all work together, what colours work together, and also what fabrics are there available in those colours. And I found myself coming back to the box time and time again. So I found it absolutely invaluable, but that was before they added that little extra bit of making them seasonal. So now I know it's going to be just a brilliant resource. I think that the seasonal update for spring was certainly planned to come out, I think at the end of this month, not November. Where do I think I am? April. But obviously things have taken quite a turn recently. I don't quite know what the plans are and what the post is doing and all the rest of it, but I'm sure they will be coming soon. So that's the Swatch Club. I would say go and have a look at the information over on their website at Lulou Designs. I'll put a link below. And if you have already got one, come and let me know what you think of it. I really am interested to know and see whether other people are as excited by their boxes as I am by mine. So I'm now going to go and cut out this second toile for the Monty shirt. I've got quite a lot of linen blend fabric that I've picked up from Abercarn from their bargain bins over the years, and I think it's quite important to do it out of a plain because I really need to see where that seam line's sitting, see if it's looking a bit better. So I thought I'd pop back and show you where I got to with toile number 2 of the Monty shirt. It's now Monday afternoon. I went out of the house this morning. I walked the dogs, and that was the first time I left the house since Friday. So because I wasn't on dog walking duty this weekend. So actually it's beautiful out there, cold but beautiful. So it was nice to get out. But yes, so let me tell you what I did. As you can see, I've made it out of stripy fabric. This was left over from the Wixton dress that I made, I guess it was probably in the summer. I didn't have quite enough to get the top half cut on the fold, so I ended up adding a bit of seam allowance and doing a centre back seam there. Well, that's okay. So when I looked at it, I realised that there was a dart hidden in the seam line here. So that meant that I had to be a little bit more cautious about how high up I moved it, and also taking into consideration the open collar, because obviously darts normally point to the apex of your bust, so you don't want that being up there somewhere. So I only moved it up by 3 centimetres to see how that worked. I did add 5 centimetres to the length, but I've messed it up. So at the centre front, I stupidly took too much off the hem at the front. So I've kind of cheated it. So the length at the back is more representative of the pattern as I've kind of added to it now. Let me show you, hold on. So that's how it's looking at the front. And here we are at the back. I feel like the length of the back is fine. So if I hadn't, you can see, look, it's riding up, and that's completely user error. Let me know what you think. I'm not convinced that moving it up any higher is going to work fantastically well because of that dart. But at this point in time, what I'm going to do is just kind of put it to one side and come back to it afresh, because I'm not excited by it enough to want to use that silk fabric on this particular shirt anymore. And experience has told me that sometimes happens to me if I've just had to fiddle around with something and it's become a bit of a chore rather than a joy. And so if I come back to it in a day or two, I know I'll feel differently one way or the other. I'm going to feel differently about it. So I'm just going to sort of park it for the time being, and see how I feel when I come back to it. And I've had a bit of a think about what to do next, because strictly speaking, I've got the next the next bottoms to make for my Great Module Sew Along, which is the trousers that I was going to make in the orange bengaline fabric that have got a bit of a flare to them. And I'm just not feeling in any kind of massive hurry to make them. I think that's probably because of being at home so much, because of social distancing. My mind is turning more towards kind of, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, for whatever reason, I'm not massively in a hurry to make them. So I think what I'm going to do for the rest of today certainly is move out of this room and go and do some other things. I have in the meantime had an Amazon delivery today. I've never used these before. Chalk cartridge set from Prim. Let's hope that that focuses. It looks like you get a number of like different chalks that go in this kind of pen holder, and there's even a sharpener for sharpening them. So I'm keen to see what that's going to be like. So I think I'm going to spend the rest of my afternoon, actually, if I'm really honest, I'll tell you what I'm going to go and spend the rest of my afternoon doing. Number one, I'm going to order some henna from Lush, because it occurred to me that if they stopped supplying things online, I'm going to end up with roots. And it also occurred to me, my friend and I, when we were walking our dogs, safe distance apart from each other, this morning, we were saying, what about all those people that have, fillers in their lips and stuff? They're all going to start collapsing, and yeah, we're all going to get long hair and roots and all the rest of it. Anyway, hopefully I will get some henna here from Lush in time for me not to have roots. But I'm also going to go and have a good look and see, I need to sort out my dressing table and see what skincare bits and pieces I've got, because it occurred to me that if ever there was a time to have a play with things and not worry about whether your skin reacts to new products, it's now, isn't it? Because who cares if your skin's going flaky or whatever. Anyway, it's just my other thing I enjoy doing. So I'm going to do that, and I would say go check out the Swatch Club on Lulou Designs on their website. Yeah, I mean, colour is obviously their thing. Sam and Lucy, who run it, Sam has, the whole of her working history has been around colour in the paint industry, but colour nonetheless, and you can really tell that. So go check them out. Let me know if you've got a box already. Really keen to know about that. So I'm going to have a think about what things I want to make next. I'm certainly finding that sewing is proving to be a great antidote to all the corona stuff that's out there at the moment. It's certainly taking my mind off it, and I've felt a lot better kind of in terms of mental health, I guess, since I've been back in my sewing room. So I would really encourage everyone to do the same if you're stuck at home. But yeah, I've got to go and get Ruby on Wednesday, so I certainly won't be sewing then. So I'm not sure when I'll be back. I've got lots of lovely new subscribers in the last few days, so that's really great. Thank you very much to all those people. Thank you to everyone for all your feedback on the last toile. I'm looking forward to seeing what you think of this one. And yeah, if you fancy subscribing, that'd be great, but I'll see you soon, and keep safe. Okay, bye bye.